In 310 AD, 4 new emperors ascended to the imperial throne, but one would eventually seize total power. His name was Flavius Valerius Constantinus, better known as Constantine the Great.
For no one was comparable to him for grace and beauty of person or height of stature, and he so far surpassed his compeers in personal strength as to be a terror to them. Eusebius.
Constantine was born in 285 AD in Nicomedia, which is now northwestern Turkey. His father, Constantius I, had been one of the emperors chosen for Diocletian's tetrarchy. The younger Constantine was a bold and ruthless man who was broad and stocky in appearance. With the death of his father, Constantine took advantage of the army's loyalty to his father in Britain to get himself proclaimed as one of Rome's 4 emperors. Constantine co-ruled the western provinces with Emperor Maxentius. The eastern territories were ruled by Emperors Licinius and Maximinus Daia. From the beginning, Constantine had no interest in sharing the throne. He plotted to crush the other rulers one by one. In 312 AD, he set out to destroy Maxentius. The armies of both emperors met face to face near the Milvian Bridge in the city of Rome. At the time, Constantine had no strong feelings for Christians one way or another. He had always worshipped the Roman sun god Apollo, but his ideas about Christianity were about to change. During the gruesome battle with Maxentius, the Milvian Bridge collapsed from the weight of the soldiers. Masses of men drowned in the muddy river due to the weight of their armor. Constantine's army felt hopeless and near defeat when suddenly a strange phenomenon occurred. Constantine was overcome by a magnificent light in the sky. Constantine said the light was in the shape of the letters X and P, which in Greek are the first letters of the word Christ. Below the glowing symbol were the words, "Under this shalt thou conquer." A heavenly voice then ordered Constantine to use this symbol in all future battles with his enemies. Constantine interpreted this as a sign from Jesus Christ. He instructed his men to paint their shields with this symbol. The next day, his army went on to defeat Maxentius, making him sole ruler of the western provinces. From that moment on, Constantine professed his devotion to Christianity.
By the time Constantine comes to power in the early 4th century, Christianity was a very powerful religion. And some historians claim that any emperor who was going to be powerful in the early 4th century would have to have played up in one way or another to the Christians. Whether or not that was the case, or whether or not Constantine is the pivotal figure who, by using his influence and patronage as emperor, shifted the tide towards Christianity, is a question that's still hotly debated among historians.
It's important to remember that for Constantine, there was nothing special about Christianity. It could be used politically. To talk religion in this empire is to talk politics. To talk politics is to talk religion.
Constantine's conversion to Christianity, whether it was due to divine intervention or political motivation, remains a mystery. But Christianity quickly became his crusade.
Christianity achieves success as a Roman religion because Christianity is a religion of war. Constantine, as a Christian, looks to the Christian God as a god of battles.
In 311 AD, Christianity was finally legalized throughout the empire. In 313 AD, Constantine issued the Edict of Milan, which gave Christians the right to worship the God that they wanted to worship. The 10-year persecution of Christians had finally ceased. While Constantine was gaining control of the West, Emperor Licinius had defeated his co-ruler Maximinus Daia in the east. The Roman Empire now had only 2 emperors. In a shrewd propaganda campaign, Constantine turned the ever-growing Christian populace against Licinius. Backed by his Christian coalition, Constantine and his men crushed Licinius's army. Constantine emerged as sole ruler of the Roman Empire.
I think what's important about understanding Constantine's support to Christianity is that it occurs within a civil war situation. It became a Christian emperor prosecuting his religion against pagan persecutors. From that point of view, Christianity was a godsend for Constantine.
Because Constantine was militarily successful, that demonstrated that his God had real power. He could deliver the goods. And this is what Constantine says in a letter that he writes to the king of Persia. He says, "Look at my career. I start out in Britain, I'm the ruler of the Roman world. How's it happened? It's because I worship the true God." And Constantine says, look, if you've got any sense, you should start worshipping this God too.
Constantine's military victories gained him thousands of Christian converts. As a result, the emperor pushed through his own political and religious reforms. In 324 AD, he banned pagan sacrifices and pillaged pagan temples of their wealth. A merciless leader, he also passed strict laws of conduct. Jews were forbidden to own Christian slaves. Elopement was illegal. Convicted rapists were burned alive.
Having gained control, he then sets about administering it in the way that suits him, suits his religious beliefs. And he starts issuing a very important and very interesting series of Christian laws. He becomes personally involved in matters of church organization and church discipline. He gives the Christian church phenomenal wealth that transforms the status of Christianity throughout the Roman world.
But Constantine himself was far from pious. In 324 AD, he had his son, Crispus, executed for allegedly committing adultery. Constantine later learned that his wife, Fausta, had plotted Crispus's death so her sons from a previous marriage could become heirs to his throne. Enraged by his wife's scheme, Constantine had her suffocated in her own bath. Constantine's mother, Helen, a devout Christian, told her son he must redeem himself for the murders against his family by building Christian churches. Constantine obeyed his mother's request by erecting churches throughout the empire. 2 of the grandest were the original St. Peter's Church in Rome and the Church of the Holy Sepulchre in Jerusalem. In time, Constantine's building projects would take on a grander scale. Since the 3rd century AD, the city of Rome had been losing its power and influence within the empire. Past emperors had been spending most of their time leading battles in the frontier provinces of the north and east. Constantine decided he needed a new residence, and the empire needed another capital. In 324 AD, Constantine began building a second imperial capital. He chose the city of Byzantium, located between Asia and Europe in what is now Turkey. In time, this relatively unknown eastern city would become the new Rome.